remember this name of this story? This is another story that got 4 votes. The title is Yoko. Only one word in the title, by Rosemary Wells, and only one person listed. So that means Rosemary Wells did both the words and the illustrations. She wrote the entire book. Yoko. Maybe as we're reading this, you could think of what food you would take for lunch at school and what food you would take for the International Day. Can you think of any food that you eat or your family eats from another country? Yoko by Rosemary Wells. What would you like for lunch today, my little cherry blossom? Asked Yoko's mother. All my favorite things, please, answered Yoko. Yoko's mother spread steamed rice on a bamboo mat. She rolled up a secret treasure inside each piece. Then she packed it all in a willow-covered cooler. Have a wonderful day at school, my little cherry blossom, said Yoko's mother. I will, answered Yoko. She seems happy to be going to school. Yoko said hello to all her friends. Everyone in Mrs. Jenkins' class sang a good morning song, like we do. At noon, Mrs. Jenkins rang the lunch bell. Lunch boxes out and open, please, boys and girls, said Mrs. Jenkins. Timothy unwrapped a peanut butter and honey sandwich. Valerie had cream cheese and jelly. Fritz had a meatball grinder. Tulip had Swiss cheese on rye. Remember when we read this at school that we sort of raised our hands or thumbs up if we would like that food? Sounds very good. Hazel had egg salad on pumpernickel. Doris had squeezed cheese on white. And the Franks had franks and beans. Do you remember what we said franks are? Hot dogs, right. Maybe you'll have franks and beans today on Memorial Day. Yoko opened the willow-covered cooler. Inside was her favorite sushi. Tucked in the rice rolls were the crispiest cucumber, the pinkest shrimp, the greenest seaweed, and the tastiest tuna. What's in your lunch? Asked one of the Franks. Ick! It's green! It's seaweed! Oh no, said the other Frank. Excuse me. Don't tell me that's raw fish. Do you remember the opposite of raw? Like a raw carrot is crunchy, a cooked carrot is soft. So it's raw, it hasn't been cooked. Watch out, it's moving, said Doris. Yucko-rama, said Tulip and Fritz. Valerie blew the playtime whistle. Everybody out, said Valerie. Yoko didn't want to play ball or swing on the swings. What's wrong, Yoko? Asked Mrs. Jenkins. Everybody laughed at my lunch. They'll forget about it by snack time, said Mrs. Jenkins. But they didn't. During the snack time song, Yoko opened a thermos cup of red bean ice cream. Red bean ice cream is for weirdos, snorted the Franks. Mrs. Jenkins switched to the friendly song. Wonder what words are in the friendly song. Mrs. Jenkins knew the friendly song was not enough. Late into the evening, she fretted about Yoko. Do you remember the word fretting, worrying? Finally, the answer came to her. Dear parents, Monday will be International Food Day, at Hilltop School. Everyone is asked to bring a dish from a foreign country, not from the country where you live. They're in the United States, so from a different country. Everyone must try a bite of everything. Happy cooking, Mrs. Jenkins. We will make a deluxe sushi for the whole class, said Yoko's mother. Don't worry, my little cherry blossom. Everyone will try our sushi and everyone will love it. On Monday morning, Valerie and her mother carried in a plate of enchiladas. Timothy and his mother made Caribbean coconut crisps. Hazel brought Nigerian nut soup. Harry brought Brazil nuts. Doris brought Irish stew. Tulip brought potato nishes. Monica brought a pitcher of mango smoothies. Fritz brought spaghetti. Big Frank cooked up a pot of Boston Franks and beans. It's what they always eat, right? At noon, Mrs. Jenkins rang the lunch bell and everyone sang the Clean Hands song. What does International Food Day mean to us, boys and girls? Mrs. Jenkins asked. Try everything, said everybody. When Valerie blew the playtime whistle, there was not a nibble of nuts or a sip of smoothie left. But no one had touched even one piece of Yoko's sushi. How is she feeling? Yoko sat under the learning tree. Suddenly she heard the clickety-click of chopsticks. It was Timothy. He was still hungry. Let me show you how, said Yoko. Timothy polished off the rest of the crab cones his own way. Can we have sushi again tomorrow, he said. I'll ask my mother, answered Yoko. Isn't that fun? They shared a fun new experience together. She could teach him how to hold the chopsticks. He found it a little easier just to pop it in his mouth. But what fun to learn things from other countries, songs and food and different things that people do, dances and stories come from other countries. It really makes our lives so much more interesting. During the school bus song, Timothy found a coconut crisp in his pocket. He gave it to Yoko. It's even better than red bean ice cream, said Yoko. On the bus, Timothy and Yoko made plans to push their desks together and open a restaurant the very next day. And they did. They ordered tomato sandwiches and dragon rolls. For dessert, they had brownies with green tea ice cream, and they couldn't have asked for anything more.
Okay, paused.
Do I have enough time for two more?
Let's see. That was 8.
Oh, okay. So The Gruffalo by Julia Donaldson. It got 4 votes. I bet Jack and Cora didn't even get to hear this story because I think they came after. So I hope you guys especially enjoyed this. So Alex Shuffler did the illustrations. Julia Donaldson did the words. The Gruffalo. This doesn't look like it's happening in a school, does it? A different setting than Yoko. A forest. A mouse took a stroll through the deep, dark wood. A fox saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have lunch in my underground house. It's terribly kind of you, Fox, but no, I'm going to have lunch with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why, didn't you know? He has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. Where are you meeting him? Here by these rocks. And his favorite food is roasted fox. Roasted fox! I'm off, Fox said. Goodbye, little mouse. And away he sped. Silly old fox, doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. On went the mouse through the deep dark wood. An owl saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have tea in my treetop house. It's frightfully nice of you, owl, but no, I'm going to have tea with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why, didn't you know? He has knobbly knees and turned out toes and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. Where are you meeting him? Here by this stream. And his favorite food is owl ice cream. Owl ice cream, to wit, to woo! Goodbye, little mouse. And away he flew. Silly old owl, doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. Who is he meeting next in the forest? On went the mouse through the deep dark wood. A snake saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come for a feast in my log pile house. It's wonderfully good of you, snake, but no, I'm having a feast with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why, didn't you know? His eyes are orange, his tongue is black. He has purple prickles all over his back. Where are you meeting him? Here by this lake. And his favorite food is scrambled snake. Scrambled snake, it's time I hid. Goodbye, little mouse. And away snake slid. Silly old snake, doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. Oh, but who is this creature with terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws? He has knobbly knees and turned out toes and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. His eyes are orange, his tongue is black. He has purple prickles all over his back. My favorite food, the Gruffalo said, you'll taste good on a slice of bread. Good, said the mouse. Don't call me good. I'm the scariest creature in this wood. Just walk behind me and soon you'll see everyone is afraid of me. All right, said the Gruffalo, bursting with laughter. You go ahead and I'll follow after. They walked and walked till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hiss in the leaves ahead. Who will they meet? Hi, Snake, said the mouse. Why, Snake, hello. Snake took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh, crumbs, he said. Goodbye, little mouse. And off he slid to his log pile house. You see, said Mouse, I told you so. Amazing, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hoo in the trees ahead. It's Owl, said the Mouse. Why, Owl, hello. Owl took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh dear, he said, goodbye, little mouse, and off he flew to his tree-top house. You see, said Mouse, I told you so. Astounding, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I hear feet on the path ahead. Who did they meet next? It's Fox, said the mouse. Why, Fox, hello. Fox took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh, help, he said. Goodbye, little mouse. And off he ran to his underground house. Well, Gruffalo, said the mouse, you see, everyone is afraid of me. But now my tummy's beginning to rumble, and my favorite food is Gruffalo crumble. Gruffalo crumble, the Gruffalo said, and quick as the wind, he turned and fled. All was quiet in the deep, dark wood. The mouse found a nut, and the nut was good. Another book that got 4 votes from all of you. Thank you for voting. It's fun to reread these. I think we read this maybe in November, so quite a while ago, maybe October. Peter and the Wolf by Vladimir Vagin. Do you remember how much fun we had listening to the music in music class with Miss Leanne? The different instruments for the different characters in the story. Once upon a time, a boy named Peter lived with his grandfather in a little cottage by a meadow and a forest. One morning, the morning of our story, Grandpa said to Peter, a big hungry wolf has been seen in the forest. You must remember to keep the garden gate shut, and don't play in the meadow. The wolf could come out and eat you. Peter listened to his grandfather and did as he was told, most of the time. But this morning a little bird sat on a branch of a big tree out in the meadow, chirping happily. Peter stopped to listen. He thought, it's much too nice a day to worry about a wolf. So, the better to hear the bird's song, Peter opened the gate and went out into the meadow. A duck came waddling through the gate. Peter had left the garden gate open, you see. The duck waddled over to the lovely pond near the tree. The little bird and the duck were friends, but the bird felt the pond and the meadow belonged to her, and she flew out over to pester the duck. What kind of bird are you? The little bird chirped, when you don't even fly. And what kind of bird are you? Quacked the duck, when you can't even swim. And so they argued, the duck splashing and diving in the water, and the little bird fluttering and hopping along the edge of the pond. Suddenly, something caught Peter's eye. Was it the wolf? Oh, no, it was just the farmyard cat slowly crawling through the grass toward the pond. The cat thought, I'll just grab that little bird before he even notices I'm here. Closer and closer, closer and closer she crept. Peter saw what the cat was up to. Look out, little bird, he shouted. The bird flew up into the tree to safety. The duck quacked angrily at the cat from the middle of the pond. Leave my friend alone, he cried. But the cat was not interested in the duck. She crawled around and around the tree and considered again how to catch the bird. If I climb up the tree, she thought, will he only fly away? Just then Grandpa came out. He saw Peter in the meadow and saw that he had left the gate open too, and he was angry. What would you do if the wolf came out? Grandpa scolded as he marched Peter home. But Peter did not listen. He was not the sort of boy to be afraid of a wolf. No sooner had Peter and Grandpa gone inside the gate and Grandpapa gone into the cottage than the big gray wolf came out of the forest. He crept toward the pond, staying well hidden. Just then the cat scampered up the tree after the bird. Look out! Quacked the duck to the bird. In his excitement, he jumped out of the pond and right out in front of the wolf. The duck ran as fast as he could, but the wolf got closer and closer and closer until, with one gulp, he swallowed the duck whole. Then the wolf began to pace around and around the tree, greedily eyeing the cat. Meanwhile, the cat crept down the branch toward the little bird. Peter saw all that was going on from behind the closed gate. All at once he knew just how to rescue his friends and catch the wolf. But he must be quick. Peter ran and found a strong rope. Then he climbed onto the high stone wall so that he was within reach of a branch of the tree. To catch the wolf, Peter would need the little bird's help. First, he climbed onto the tree and scared the cat away. Then he whispered to the bird, "Fly down around the wolf's head, but be careful he doesn't catch you." The bird flew off the branch and fluttered all around the wolf's head, brushing his nose with her wings and making him very angry. Just when the wolf thought he had caught the bird, she would dash away. Peter inched out on the branch till he was right over the wolf. He made a lasso with the rope and lowered it down. Deftly, he looped the lasso around the wolf's tail, and with a mighty pull, he cinched the rope tight. Peter had caught the wolf. The wolf struggled hard to get away, but the more he jumped, the more the rope tightened around his tail. Peter tied the other end of the rope to the tree and called down, "I'm not afraid of some old wolf." Just then a group of hunters came crashing and stomping out of the forest, pointing their guns all around and looking for the wolf. "Don't shoot!" Peter shouted to them. "Look here! The bird and I have already caught the wolf." "The wolf is very dangerous," called the hunters. "Hand him over to us." "No," said Peter. "You mustn't hurt him. Help us take him to the zoo." What a procession they made. Peter led the way, of course. Then came the hunters, leading the wolf with the rope. Then came Grandpapa and the cat. Grandpapa could hardly contain his pride, though he had been angry earlier. "He's a brave boy, my Peter," Grandpapa said. Above them all flew the little bird, chirping merrily, "Look what we have caught, Peter and I." And what about the duck? All the way to the zoo he sat quacking inside the wolf, perfectly whole and well. He made such a noise that the wolf spat him out, and he returned with Peter to quack many another day. And that just shows the fun music. So maybe on your parents' phone or on the computer, maybe you could play the Peter and the Wolf music and think about who, the flute for the bird and the different instruments that were the animals.